Hello, everyone. This is Nick Peachin, and this is my informative speech about orthopedic surgeons. Um, what I'm going to start with is just telling you a bit about what an orthopedic surgeon is and what exactly they do. So, an orthopedic surgeon is a specific type of surgeon that specifically operates on joints and parts of the body that are not on the torso or the head. So, specifically, um, hands, elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, and stuff of that sort. So, general mobility stuff is usually what they deal with. So, torn ACLs, labrum repairs, bicep tendons, any kind of stuff like that is what an orthopedic surgeon deals with. So, the career path of an orthopedic surgeon is fulfilling both financially and spiritually through being able to share God's love by the way one can help people recover from injuries. So, when helping people recover from injuries, it's great to see how somebody can go from having their life completely shut down because of an injury to having their life restored to the way it was, helping them get back into sports, into their workplace, just the kind of activities that they were doing before they got the injury. So, the first part about an orthopedic surgeon that you need to know is they have to go through a lot of schooling. So, first, they have to go through 4 years of undergrad at an accredited university, which is what I'm doing right now at Liberty University. I'm studying biomedical sciences in order to hopefully become an orthopedic surgeon one day. Um, After undergrad, the orthopedic surgeon in training, the one that hopes to be an orthopedic surgeon, has to take the MCAT exam, which is the exam that qualifies people to get into medical school. So it's a big medical version of the SAT, essentially. And so what they have to do is they have to get a good grade on that, and then they have to present a medical school with their transcript of how their grades went, any kind of activities they were involved with, uh, social stuff like community service, that kind of. They just want to be able to see a well-rounded candidate in that. To get started, what they need to do is they need to submit applications and just generally start looking at schools they want to go to and schools with specific programs that specialize in orthopedic surgery. So to start with after they're done their undergrad and they get into a medical school, they have to take a lot of specialized courses about surgeries and the specific type of surgery they want to go into. So an orthopedic surgeon would take very specific orthopedic surgery related classes. So surgery about or classes about the anatomy of uh, the body parts that they would be working with, very specific to the blood vessels, tendons, muscles, any kind of bone structures there. They have to be able to know all that stuff. So when they're working, they can easily identify what they need to fix and what should be there and what it normally looks like. So medical schools are also very exclusive. They do not let just anyone in. When I'm looking at the medical schools I want to get into, one of the ones I'm looking at is Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia, and they have a class size of 211 kids. That's how many they take every year out of about an application pool of 11,000. So medical schools are very, very exclusive. They also tend to be pretty expensive too, ranging from like 50,000 a year to all the way up to the sky is the limit essentially. However high they want to put their tuition at. Um, Through the medical school though, the doctor will receive a doctorate. That is pretty much why doctors are called doctors, because they have a licensed doctorate given to them from the medical school. And the way you can glorify God through these studies is just by doing everything as though you're doing it unto the Lord. Being able to make sure that everything that you're doing is pleasing to God. And so after medical school, they have to do 4 years of residency, which is where a surgeon in training will go into a hospital and follow a current surgeon and basically be like their apprentice. They go into their surgeries, they teach them how to do stuff, and then they slowly get them working into the surgery. So by the end of the 4 year residency, a surgeon in training will be a full-fledged surgeon, being able to operate completely on a person with the full knowledge of what to do in specific circumstances, what kind of tools to use in specific cases, and how each case from person to person can vary depending on how the person is structured. And going into orthopedics, like once they're a full-fledged surgeon, an orthopedic surgery, they do all kinds of those surgeries, like I mentioned before, everything like from shoulder to arms to hips to knees, any kind of tendon repair, muscle repair. If you break a bone, an orthopedic surgeon will reset the bone that way. The ministry opportunity through orthopedic surgeon is really evident through the recovery period. Being able to show somebody that you care about them with the same kind of love that Jesus shows by walking them through that kind of step-by-step process and getting them the care they need and helping them recover in a way that is as fast as possible to get them back into their normal lives. Like Jesus said many times in the Bible, he calls himself the great physician as a healer. And I think that's a great analogy, because what greater way to glorify God than to restore the body that God created for them. So, in conclusion, orthopedic surgery is a very, very fulfilling field. It brings glory to God in many different ways, and it's just very satisfying to be able to see people go from a place of despair and brokenness and being able to restore them in not as spiritual fashion like God, but in a more physical fashion, and it's just very satisfying to see. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's very cool the way that the body can be put back together, almost like a living machine, and I just find it very satisfying and very, very interesting. So I hope I informed you well about orthopedic surgery, and I look forward to talking more in the future. Thank you.